know the story by now. Chris Rock was hosting the Oscars when he made what people saw as an insensitive joke towards Will Smith's wife, referencing G.I. Jane, making a comment on the fact that she didn't have any hair. But Jada suffers from alopecia, so her and her husband saw the joke as pretty distasteful, as some people would probably expect. But what people didn't expect was for Will Smith to march right up on stage during the live show and slap Chris Rock across the face, returning to his seat to yell out, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth." For a time after, it was all people could talk about as everyone was just absolutely shocked, and then things quieted down for a while. But now we have seen both Will and Chris opening up to talking about the situation. Will Smith in his incredibly strange and manufactured apology video, and Chris Rock at his various different comedy show stops. So let's see what Chris had to say at his show about potentially hosting the Oscars again next year. The weekend after the Oscars, Chris was already back to doing his tour, and his next comedy show completely sold out. Obviously, many of the people were highly anticipating some sort of response to what had taken place, but Chris denied them any satisfaction. On stage, he said, "I don't have a bunch of shit about what happened, so if you came to hear that, I have a whole show I wrote before this weekend, and I'm still kind of processing what happened. So at some point, I'll talk about that shit, and it'll be serious and it'll be funny." At a later show, he started opening up more about it, saying, "Anyone who says words hurt has never been punched in the face. I am not a victim. Yeah, that hurt, but I shook that off and went to work the next day. I don't go to the hospital for a paper cut." In the same show, Kevin Hart also made light of it when he gifted Chris Rock a goat and said that it was named Will Smith. Besides these quick comments, we didn't hear much about what Chris actually felt towards the situation, until now. At a comedy show he recently had in Phoenix, Arizona, an audience member apparently asked him to talk about what had taken place on stage, which is something I'm sure he's probably tired of being asked by now. He said that he actually had been contacted by the Academy with an offer to host the 2023 Oscars ceremony. Hosting the Oscars is a pretty big deal for any performer, and if you're asked back to do it for a second time, you should be honored, right? Well, Chris Rock definitely didn't see it that way. He said that returning back to the Oscars stage would be like returning back to the scene of the crime, specifically making reference to the O.J. Simpson trial where he killed his wife, a crime that started off with her leaving her glasses at an Italian restaurant. He said that asking him to host the Oscars again would be like asking O.J. Simpson's wife to return to the restaurant, a pretty shocking comparison that left people pretty baffled. A slap and someone dying are on pretty different levels, but alright man. It seems pretty clear from the comments he has made that Chris Rock views this slap as a pretty big deal, despite having laughed it off in shock in the moment. We also know from Will Smith's own comments that Chris Rock and his team have refused any sort of discussion between the two or any apology from Will. Will said in his laughable YouTube apology video that Chris's team said to stop reaching out to him and that they would reach out to Will when Chris decided he's ready. With Chris seeming to open up more and more about the situation, it seems like Chris may be ready to talk with Will about it soon. But on the other hand, with the drastic comparisons he's been making, it's possible that Chris may never accept an apology from Will at all. As of right now, we haven't heard anything else from either side, so that's all I have for you. I've been your host, Woody. Join us next time for more.